Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media, and I'm back today with another disc replay haul. So I didn't do this, I planned on doing this one like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it just didn't happen. And so now instead of just 1 month of pickups, there's about a month and a half here, going on 2 months now, worth of used media pickups from disc replay. And there's actually 1 or 2 other places in here as well, but it just made sense to kind of lump them all into this disc replay haul. So excited about today's because there's DVDs, Blu-ray, 4K, and even something else, which I am really excited to talk about. Real quick though, I do want to give a big shout out to Ryan and his mother. I ran into Ryan and his mom at my local disc replay. The first time in my life I've ran into someone who actually watches the channel out in public. So that was amazing. Thank you both for coming up to me and saying hi. I loved talking movies with you for, man, I don't even know how long we talked, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it was. It was a ton of fun. So thank you both so much for saying hi, and thank you so much for your support here on the channel. I really appreciate that. So that was really cool, just like a really cool moment. So thanks again, guys. It was awesome meeting you both. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Oh, if you have a second, hit that like button. That really does help me out. But let's not waste any more time. Let's dive right in to my disc replay used media haul. I'm debating on where to start this video, but I think I'll start it off with the kind of oddball thing that I picked up. And this one I didn't grab from Disc Replay. I actually got a phone call from my local used video game store saying, hey, you have a $20 credit that's about to expire, so come on in and use it. So why wouldn't I? So I did. And then while I was there, I was looking through the video games, and honestly, they're just overpriced. Like, the prices on their stuff is absurd. Frankly, I don't even like this store, so I'm not going to talk about what store it is or anything like that. I'm just not a fan. But I will say there was one thing that caught my attention, and I'd actually been looking at this on eBay recently as well, and I decided, you know what, for the price, I'm going to spend very little out of pocket for this. Let's do it. So, I don't even know why I did this, but I did. I ended up grabbing the Xbox 360 HD DVD drive. So, I don't know why. It's just fun. Like, this, of course, is a dead media format, the one that lost the war to Blu-ray. But you can see the price on there says $59.99. I don't know if you can see it or not. $59.99, but it's actually not $59.99. He told me it was like $40 and then realized he was wrong, but he gave me the $40 price anyway, and then I had $20 off. I had a $5 coupon, blah, blah, blah. I spent very little for this. So I now have access to play HD DVDs, which is really cool. And the best thing is, like, it's just a cool Xbox 360 accessory, which I still have over there. I actually just unplugged this right now to do this video, but I thought that was really cool. And it came with the remote as well, which I actually never owned for my Xbox 360. So I thought that was pretty cool. So of course I had to get an HD DVD to play with it. Now, honestly, I totally forgot that I actually have Land of the Dead on HD DVD. It's a HD DVD combo pack. I don't know. I feel like an idiot saying the words DVD 7 million times. But anyway, it's a combo pack. And so I just kept it because it was the only way I had access to Land of the Dead at the time. And then I held on to it because I thought it was cool after I upgraded to the Scream Factory Blu-ray. But I ended up grabbing this one as well because I'd forgotten about that. How do you not have King Kong on HD DVD in your collection if you have the player, especially with this guy here? Because this is what it was known for. Like, this came bundled with King Kong and maybe a couple other ones as well. But like, King Kong was always the picture on the box that it came bundled with. So it just felt right to buy this. This was a little bit more money than it's worth, that's for sure. But I figured, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. I'm paying very little anyway. I might as well grab it. So I now have Peter Jackson's King Kong on HD DVD along with a brand new HD DVD player. So really excited about it. I don't know how much collecting for it I'm going to do, because whenever at that store where they actually had a bunch of them, they were way overpriced for what they are. And I just don't see them very often at my disc replays. So if I do see them at disc replay, they tend to be in the DVD section, which is really cool. And so if I can buy them cheap, yeah, I'll probably grab some. But I don't know, it's just kind of fun. And the only like one movie I have read about that is available on HD DVD, so in 1080p, that is not available on Blu-ray or better, is Balls of Fury. And so I think I'm going to grab that one at some point, and I think that's still true. I don't believe there is a North American release of Balls of Fury on Blu-ray, at least when I checked recently. So I don't know, just kind of a weird oddball thing, but I wanted to share with you guys because, I mean, it's pretty cool, and it got me the remote as well. So I don't know, I just thought it was fun, so I figured I'd put it in this video. So the first one today is my brand new, used of course, but HD DVD player, new to me, and King Kong on the format. I didn't even mention, but yes, it works. I was kind of concerned at first just because my 360 is like the original Xbox 360 I bought way back when it was new. And so I wasn't sure if it was actually going to work well with this HD DVD player, but fortunately everything works. So that was really cool. Anyway, let's move over to the DVDs now. And right now my disc replay is doing the buy 3 get 6 free sale. And so this is, I think, what's going to be their standard moving forward. I'd still have 4 stacks over there of buy 2 get 8 that I have to share with you guys, but in the meantime I'll share the buy 6 get 6, or whatever it was, buy 3 get 6, and I'll also mention 3 of those were my daughter's movie, so I'm not including them here. These are just the ones that were for me. So the first one here is a wrestling DVD, which is cool because normally these are in the TV series section. So this is WWE The Best of Raw 2009. So not a great year for WWE by any stretch of the imagination, at least from what I remember. I think this was the time where honestly I wasn't watching it nearly as much, but I figured why not grab it. It's a 2-disc set, which is always cool, so I'll just add that to my wrestling collection. So this is WWE Raw, the best of 2009, and you know what? I'll just keep going through here. I don't have too many DVDs. So the next one here is the 20th anniversary edition of The Monster Squad. So this is one that I don't own it on Blu-ray, so I figured I would just pick this up here because it was really cheap, and you know, I really like this movie. I've seen it one time in my life when my good buddy came and stayed the night with us one night years ago. He actually brought this with him. We watched it and I really loved it. So a really fun movie, and it has a ton of special features on it, which is really cool. So I figured I would grab this, and it has some hair on it, but other than that, it has a slipcover with it, which is awesome as well. This is one I definitely need to upgrade down the line, but maybe we'll get a 4K of this one day, and I'm happier to upgrade from DVD to 4K than Blu-ray to 4K. So the Monster Squad is the next one up. And then another one, I definitely need to get the Blu-ray of this, and there is a Scream Factory Blu-ray, so it's a little bit more expensive, which is why I just haven't picked it up yet. But I really like this movie. This is Pet Sematary 2. Now, this is one that I've seen one time, but I thought it was shockingly good for what it is. We are following that very similar story of the original, but I think it's done pretty well here. And so if you haven't seen Pet Sematary 2, check it out. I can't promise you're going to love it, but you might be surprised by it. I think there's a reason why Scream Factory has put this one out, you know, and I think it's definitely worthy. So yeah, this is one directed by Mary Lambert as well. I need to check this one out again because I really enjoyed it, and I wanted it in my collection until I upgrade to that Scream Factory Blu-ray. So that's Pet Sematary 2. And then last but not least on the DVD side, so my buddy found me, I guess it was sometime last year, he found me Tales from the Crypt seasons 1 through 4, I guess it was, when he was on vacation somewhere. Ended up getting him on vacation while he was gone, flew back home with them, and then shipped them out to me because it was such a great deal. It was like 99 cents a season. Well, I happened to see seasons 5, 6, and 7 of Tales from the Crypt, as you can see, 5, 6, 7, in the cheap DVD section as well at Disc Replay. So of course I picked them up. So now I have the entire series of Tales from the Crypt, and I spent probably less than $10 on the entire collection on DVD. So yeah, very happy to have this whole set in my collection now. When I went through, initially they had like 1 through 5 on one section, and I was so bummed because I realized I needed only 5 out of that stack, and then I kept looking and there was 6 and 7 set elsewhere. So like, yeah, this was just a really cool find. Very lucky that they didn't price these at their normal like $5 each for television series. So yeah, very happy that I was able to complete the Tales from the Crypt series with seasons 5, 6, and 7. So those are the last of the DVDs. Let's jump over now to Blu-rays. Not a ton of Blu-rays here, but I did find some really cool ones. A few of these I'm actually checking off my cheap Blu-rays to find list. But the first one here is from producer M. Night Shyamalan, And I honestly, I don't even love this movie. I think it's good though. I don't think it's great. I think it's good, and it's pretty decent for what it is. It's just when I went to go see it the first time, I was so disappointed with it when I saw it in theaters. But on repeat viewings, I think I've seen it like twice since I've seen it in theaters, and I tend to like think, yeah, that's a pretty good movie, a good a good way to spend 90 minutes or whatever it is. This is Devil, and this one is directed by, who is this directed by? John Eric Dowdle is who directs this, but it does have a story by M. Night Shyamalan. So this, of course, is about a group of people who are trapped in an elevator. One of them is the devil, at least they believe so, because when the lights go out, something bad happens, and we're just basically trying to figure out, who done it, or who is the devil. And so, yeah, not a great film, but I definitely think it's good, and I'm very happy to have it in the collection. So that is Devil, story by M. Night Shyamalan, and produced it. But, yeah, then next up is a sequel to a movie I've had in the collection for a while, and one that was on my cheap Blu-rays to find list. This is Ouija, Origin of Evil. So this one was actually a little bit more expensive, because it is more expensive to find even on eBay, if I'm not mistaken. I think this was the one. But yeah, so this is the sequel to Ouija, which I actually have not watched yet. So I definitely want to get around to both of these at some point. I don't think, it's not looking like it's going to be this Halloween, but hopefully sometime soon. Obviously, I watch horror movies year round, so, Halloween doesn't really make much of a difference to me. But yeah, anyway, next up is one that I've heard a lot of great things about. This is Men, and this is from the director of Ex Machina and Annihilation, whose name is just escaping right now. Alex Garland. My goodness, I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, so I am really excited to check this one out. It's supposed to be kind of just weird, and I'm all about weird. Weird horror thriller of some sort. So yeah, very excited to check this one out. Honestly, I know very little about it, and I want to keep it that way heading into it, because it's just one of those that feels like the less I know going in, the better. So excited about that one. And then the one that I have been looking for the longest time, I have the other two right here. Well, three, I guess, if you want to count it that way. But this is I Spit on Your Grave 3, Vengeance is Mine. I have been waiting to get this Blu-ray for the longest time. It was one of the very first movies I added to my cheap Blu-rays to find list, and I just have never found it for a good price. Now, I could get it online, I think, for maybe around $20, but I finally came across it at Disc Replay the other day, and oh my gosh, I was so excited when I saw this. I couldn't believe it. I had to do a double take, because I always see like the second one, but I never see the third one. Of course, this is the third one of the remake trilogy, or the reboot trilogy, and I really like this. This is the only one I haven't seen yet, so very excited to finally complete this trilogy. And like I said, the other two I think are right there, so I love them and cannot wait to see what this third one's all about. So the last Blu-ray for today, another one for my cheap list, or cheap Blu-rays to find list, is I Spit on Your Grave 3, Vengeance is Mine. So yes, that's all the Blu-rays. Let's move now over to the big ol' stack of 4K items I found. So I have 9 movies here on 4K, and I think the majority of these have the slipcover with them, which is really cool. So the first one is Space Jam. This is one that I never would have picked up on 4K if it wasn't so cheap. And that's the thing about all of these. They were like $5 to $7, because I've talked about it before. I have no idea what Disc Replay is doing with their 4K prices. They've just been lowering them so much for some of these releases. So I ended up finding Space Jam for like $5 or something ridiculous. So I figured, yeah, pick it up. I used to love this one when I was a kid, and I've not seen it since then. Of course, the Monstars and Michael Jordan. The sequel has LeBron, but I have not watched that one yet. I actually do own that, because I found that cheap at Disc Replay, man, months and months ago. But yeah, I need to do a double feature now with Space Jam and the sequel. So Space Jam is the first 4K one I grabbed. I guess I'll just keep going here. Another one for the family collection. Another movie I really love, but haven't seen in quite some time. This is Robin Williams in Jumanji. I absolutely love the newer Jumanji films. They are absolutely ridiculous and hilarious. They are wonderful. This one, because the new ones are so great, I kind of just like don't go back to this one. But now I found it cheap, so I figured, yeah, let's add it to the collection. Why not? Great movie with Robin Williams, and the supporting cast is fantastic in this as well. So excited to add Jumanji to the collection. This next one is kind of an odd one. It sounds like it's both a disaster film and a heist movie, which I'm like all about. So I'm really intrigued to see if it's any good or not. This is The Hurricane Heist. And I believe like these people are trying to pull off a heist in the middle of a hurricane or something. Yeah. As a massive hurricane builds, criminals infiltrate a U.S. mint facility. So, I mean, that just sounds awesome. Like right up my alley. I don't watch a lot of heist movies, but what I do, I tend to enjoy them. And I love disaster flicks. So combining them, I mean, like, this sounds like a really good time. So Hurricane Heist on 4K is in the collection. That's one I believe is actually streaming on Netflix, but for like the whatever it was, $6 or $7, I figured I would grab it. Oh, and these next two are really cool. So I actually found Equalizer 2 at Disc Replay with the slipcover, and so I grabbed that one again for like $5, but they didn't have Equalizer, and I couldn't find it. So I ended up going to eBay for Equalizer. I got that one for a little bit more, but it was still a really good price. So I finally have both Equalizer movies in the collection, and I've heard amazing things about these. Denzel Washington stars in this, and I've heard they're just a ton of fun. More so the original, I guess, than the sequel. At least that's what my future brother-in-law told me, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was him I was talking to. But yeah, so really excited to watch these. Heard great things, and it actually sparked a TV series as well, which is pretty cool. So excited that I finally have Equalizer in there, and another one, those were on my cheap list as well to find, and so super happy I was able to get those. And then we have a Stanley Kubrick film, another one. I had no intention of upgrading this to 4K from my Blu-ray, but it was dirt cheap. So I figured, let's do it, and it has a slipcover. This is A Clockwork Orange. This is one of those Kubrick films that I have not seen. And so I have it in 4K now. I have no excuse. I absolutely have to watch this one. Now, this is supposed to be just really kind of odd. I've seen the beginning of this, and it was very uncomfortable because my mom happened to be like in the room. So I turned it off. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to move on. I'll come back to that. But that was like 10 years ago, and I just never went back to it. So I definitely have to get back to Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. I love that slipcover. It is beautiful, and was super happy that that was included. So yeah, moving along here. This is a movie that I actually watched recently. My wife and I watched it on Amazon Prime, and it was hilarious. I didn't expect to enjoy this one at all. In fact, I expected to, have my wife turn it on, and I was going to be leaving a couple minutes later, but I was hooked from the beginning. Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum in The Lost City. This movie is so funny, and it has like no right to be as good as it is, but it's all about the actors here. They are hilarious. Sandra Bullock, of course. She's Sandra Bullock. She's amazing. Channing Tatum is super underrated. That guy can do virtually anything in my book. Like, he's great. And these two together, the chemistry on screen just works really well. Just such a goofy, like, oddball comedy where Sandra Bullock's character ends up getting kidnapped because this archaeologist or whatever he is, who played by Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe, is trying to, like, basically use her to find a lost treasure. And he kidnaps her. It's nuts. Channing Tatum tries to rescue her. It is absolutely bonkers, but it is hilarious. So even if you don't pick it up in the physical format, definitely check it out on Amazon Prime Video if you are subscribed, because absolutely worth your time in my book. I loved that one way more than I expected to. So very happy to add that one to the collection for cheap. And then this is actually a newer one that was really cheap as well. This is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, excuse me. So this is another one that I had no intention of grabbing until I found like the $8 4K. Then I said, yeah, I'm going to get it. And with the slipcover, which is awesome. So yeah, I always say it. I'm not caught up on the MCU. One day I will be able to say I am, but today's not that day. So grab that one because of the price. And then finally, last but not least, speaking of the Harry Potter universe, we have Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. This is the only Fantastic Beasts film I didn't have in the collection, and I am so excited to finally get to this one because I love Dumbledore as a character, and his backstory as it's been presented is super interesting to me, so I really need to see what this one is all about. I think of the Fantastic Beasts films, this one kind of gets the least amount of love, but that's okay. Like, I really like the Harry Potter universe, so I'd have to check this one out. And again, for the price, I wasn't passing this one up. I sound like a broken record, but it's true. These are just so cheap. So yeah, very happy to add the Fantastic Beasts: Secrets of Dumbledore to the collection, and that one is the last of the items that I picked up from Disc Replay recently. All right, so there they are, from DVD to HD DVD to Blu-ray and 4K. Like, what a fun stack of movies here. Again, Disc Replay is just my favorite place to go because you never know what you're going to find. My wife is like, how do you go there so often? And I say, they get new things in all the time, literally every hour. And so I could go in the morning and the evening and find something different potentially. So yeah, I justify it that way. But anyway, guys, I want to hear from you down in the comments below. What of this stack do you recommend me putting towards the top of the list? Is there anything in here that you think is just a complete waste of time? Let me know what your thoughts are on that and anything else down in the comments below. I really appreciate all that support, so thanks so much for that. But if you guys enjoyed this one, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching this one. And I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.